Good morning. Today is Monday, March 7th, and I'm on the way to the boat. It's kind of early this year, but it's going to be a warm week. It's going up to 59 down near the Chesapeake. Tomorrow's going to be, I think, 65, and Wednesday's going to be over 70. So between today, I'm going down to do basic cleanup, remove the boat cover, things along those lines. And then Wednesday, when it's nice and warm, Patty and I are going to go down. We're going to wax the hull. We're going to paint the bottom. The final things before it goes into the water. So that's today's plan. I'll meet you when I get down there.
Spider-Man Venom for a while now, and I know it's been on and
off. Getting a morning breakfast at Burger King. Coming up on the C&D Canal. This is the bridge that goes across it. This canal connects the Delaware Bay with the Chesapeake Bay. Probably can't see it real good, but that's the C&D Canal. Oh, here we are. We're turning into the road that leads to the Two River Marina. And here we are, pulling into the parking lot. You can see most of the boats are still all covered up, and there's not much out in the marina. So this is the first warm-up we've had. One boat's out there. Most of the boats are still all covered up. There's some big boats in here, big power boats. I would say 2/3 of the boats in this marina here are power boats, because we're on the northern Chesapeake. There tends to be more power boats on the north, and then I don't know if there's more sailboats down in the southern end, but there are quite a few sailboats, more than up north. Right there with the beige winter cover, that's my boat. Well, I got a lot of stuff to unpack, as you can see. I bring a generator. I never know whether they have electricity turned on this time of year. The back seat's full of stuff. The front seat's full of stuff. I'll inspect the boat here a little bit. There's a couple bare spots on the hull. The coat underneath the black bottom paint is red, so I can always tell when it's starting to wear a little thin. I usually put a coat on every other year, but in between I'll just do some touch-up. But last year I just did touch-up, so the whole thing's going to get a recoat, but not today. I'll be doing that on Wednesday when Patty comes down. Today is the day we just take the covers off, clean it up. Pretty much everything except the wax. We'll do that on Wednesday, and then the bottom paint. I'll replace the zinc today, even though when I look at it, the zinc actually looks really good. So that's either a good thing, because there's no stray currents or electrolysis going on anymore in the marina, or I don't have a good bond underneath. But I usually make sure I've really cleaned the shaft before I put that on. So we have all new marina electrical wiring, all new docks, and ever since then my zincs really last a long time. Plus, I don't keep my boat plugged in like a lot of other boats do, especially the power boats. They stay plugged in, run their chargers. But as you can see with the solar panels, that always keeps my batteries topped off. So I really have no reason to plug into the marina unless I'm going to stay overnight in the marina. Then I just use the 110 for lights. I'll run my refrigerator off 110 just to spare the batteries, and or run the air conditioner on 110. time to get to work. Now let's go downstairs and check out the mess. I usually put the cushions up on end like that to try to get as much airflow around it. Keep the refrigerator open. Have my sails down here on the floor. Bilge covers are cracked open. V-berth cushions are up on end, and well, you can see it's a mess. I've already brought some stuff down about a week and a half ago. This is one of those micro solar vents. I've had this on my boat for, I would say, about 3 years. And I've replaced the battery once, and this past year it died again. So as I took it apart, what I noticed is one of the brushes came off, and somehow it's glued to those little fingers. I don't know how well you can see them, but they're like right there at the tip of my finger. And I figured I can't fix this. I looked up motors, and you can't buy replacement parts for these micro vents. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a 3-inch computer fan. I've cut the housing off of it. Here's just one of the support spokes. And I'm super gluing it to the original underside of the vent. So it pulls about 5 amp hours in a 24-hour period. It's like 0.2 0.23 amps, 2.9 watts. So it's fairly low, but I'm going to then hardwire this into my boat 12-volt battery. Plug it in and see if it works. Well, there you go. It's working. I put a little piece of tape over the leads to keep them out of the fan. And these are the connections. And it plugs in right down here. I'm going to put a Y splitter there so I can also plug in the composting toilet fan. I took the wire, I'll run it across the ceiling, I'll attach it to the ceiling, but I can just poke it under this molding here. It's like a molded foam. I'll just tuck it under there, run it down the molding. It'll be visible in some areas, but it'll be out of the way for the most part. It's moving pretty much air. Maybe you can hear it. This moves a lot more air than this solar powered vent. I mean, the cells are disconnected, so they're not powering anything, but this is moving a lot of air. Next project, time to install the curb. So I'm going to drill a hole right here. I got a lot of glue, 5200 adhesive. I got some life caulk, so I'll be caulking and gluing once I drill this hole. I have an aluminum pot down underneath here taped to the ceiling, so as I drill and any fiberglass or material falls in, it's just going to fall right into that container and not get all over the inside of the boat. Nice hole. You can see this is the deck, and there's a non-wood core right here, but this layer down here, that's the ceiling fiberglass. There's actually a gap. They've run wires through here to get to the various lights. I got this glued down. So I will, I think I'm just going to put the cap on. I don't even want to put the stainless cover on. I'm afraid I'll move it. But I will screw this down just to keep any bugs out or rain. It's going to be very mild for the next 2-3 days with no rain. So this is a perfect time to have done this. By the time I come back here to paint the hull in 2 days, this should all be dry, and I can then finish it up, put the cover on, and seal it with a life caulk. Just gotta make sure it stays lined up, so I'm gonna just use this to wedge it in there so this doesn't shift, which it's already doing. Well, when I come back on Wednesday, if I have to re-drill it just to open it up a little bit, I can do that. That should be good, just like that. I won't touch it, let it harden. Now that's the inside of the cabin with the hole drilled for the propane heater chimney. And the heater is going to go against that wall. I installed this teak cover plate because there were a bunch of holes there, and you can see there's still more. I have to cut out the rest of the fiberglass here, but I need to get some hose first. And then this is cut to the shape of the bottom of the composting toilet. I just put in these hold down brackets here. So the next step is to slide in the compost toilet. I got the hold down brackets in. Except for the hose hookup, it's ready. And there's the propane locker. And all the way down in the corner, that is the propane drain. Next project, I just mounted these rod holders, 3 of them. One here, one over there next to the gas grill, and over here on the starboard side. Well, not a bad day of work today. Got a lot of stuff done. Got it cleaned up. Blew all the leaves off, as you saw. Looking good. I put my fishing sticker on the mast, and now I'm going to put in my registration sticker on the bow, and then I'm going to start cleaning up the head home. Well, thanks for watching. That pretty much wraps up this episode of cleaning and getting a little project put together. In a few days I'll post another video of us painting and waxing. Until then, have a great evening.